Hey everyone, it's Dan here. In this video, we're just going to do a quick overview of what Keysearch has to offer. This is going to be as quick as I can possibly go to get you a brief overview and help you get started. It's not going to be some in-depth tutorial. Those you can find on our tutorials page, but this is just to get you up and running as quick as possible. So when you log in, you're going to be on the research page. If it's your first time, the research page will be blank. First thing you're going to want to do is search for some related keywords within your niche. Let's start with, we'll do chicken pot pie recipe. All right, I suggest leaving these options as is. These will give you the best results. This is set to all locations. You can narrow it down to specific locations, but I suggest leaving it at all locations. And related keywords is going to give you the best keyword ideas out of any of the other options. There's a bunch of other options. Our database, Google Suggest, which uses Google's search bar suggestion feature, but it's definitely not as in-depth as our related keywords will return. You got Bing Suggest, YouTube, Etsy, a bunch of options. Competitors keywords is where you can enter a URL and it'll show your competitors keywords, and you can import a keyword list. But for the most part, I would just leave this at related keywords. So let's do the search. All right, after you do a search, you'll see the related keywords pop up on the right-hand side. And if the keyword score is in our database, you'll see it show up. Not all keywords will have keyword scores. You'll see if there's no score, you'll see the little eyeglass thing there that you can click, and that will go out and check the keyword score and load the information in the left-hand side. When you see the scores, anything that is a little less vibrant or a dulled color, that means the score is older than 30 days. So if you want, you can click on those, and those will update the scores. Otherwise, you can just use the scores that are just slightly older than 30 days. So you are able to, you could sort by the keyword score there. You can sort by any of these columns. Then we have our filter here where you could really dive in. So for example, if we only wanted to see keywords with a volume, search volume between 1,000 and 5,000, then you just click the filter and there you go. It'll show those. If we only wanted keywords that haven't been checked yet, you could do score 0 to 0. And that'll show you all these keywords that haven't been checked. We could do keywords that haven't been checked with a search volume over 1,000. That'll leave 21 keywords. So you could, at this point, you could select all and use our bulk check feature to check the keyword difficulty for any of these keywords, or you could just click one at a time, like so. So that's how the filter works. You could put in a keyword for the filter. So for example, if I just wanted chicken pot pie recipes that had, let's see, what's something, book, and we'll remove these. So it'll only show keywords that have the word book in them. Negative word will remove any keywords that have that word that you put in the negative words, and we could filter in a bunch of different ways. You could also, let's say you found this keyword and you liked it, you could select it and you could just save the keywords to a list. You could select a list to save to, or you can add it to a new list. I'll show you the list page later, but basically this is how you can, save the keywords that you want to refer back to, and you could create different lists for, different topics and whatnot. You can compare keywords, and you can export in a bunch of different ways. I'm not going to go and show you every single feature. Then we have our deep analysis feature. If you click this, it basically dives in a little further of what you're seeing in this column. So let me go over that. You got your search trends graph, which will show you basically how this search has been trending over the last year. And then you have a SERP analysis table, which gives you a breakdown of the first page search engine results, and with the stats, which is Moz page authority, domain authority, the incoming domains to the actual page, so the incoming external linked domains. Then we have the amount of domains coming into the actual domain. So for example, this DOMS here is how many domains are coming into the URL, foodhero.org, cookbook, etc. The DOMSD is how many domains are linking to the actual foodhero.org main domain. Authority links is how many do follow external links are coming into the actual page. So this is a important stat right there. This is the total links, which includes do follow, no follow, and internal. And then whether we found the keyword in the actual URL of that page. Then we have our what's called our link score. So basically what this is a secondary score that just uses the incoming domains to the actual pages to give you a score. The reason for this is there's a very popular SEO tool. I won't mention the name specifically, but it starts with an A and ends with a hefs. That is how they judge keyword difficulty. So this is basically like, as it says, it is kind of mimicking how they judge keyword difficulty. So it just basically gives you a secondary keyword difficulty score. I find it much less accurate, and it's been shown to not be completely accurate since it's only using one metric, which is incoming domains to the actual links. It doesn't use any domain authority or any other metrics to judge keyword difficulty. But this could be good as a secondary metric to use. So this is your main hub, the research page. We're going to do most of your work finding your keyword ideas. You could also check the rankings and traffic for the URLs by clicking the rankings traffic tab. And this will bring up the stats for each URL and domain, how many ranking keywords we found for the URL, how many ranking keywords for the domains, and the estimated traffic. You are able to click on this, and this should bring up a pop-up that shows you the ranking keywords that we found. So there's a bunch you could do here. You could click the social tab, which will show you how many Facebook and Pinterest shares each URL has. But all of this is diving in a little further than you need to. This is just extra stuff. The social will take a little bit since it has to go out and find the shares for each URL. But for the most part, you really just need the SERP analysis and the keyword difficulty scores. And that could get you the most of the way. Everything else is just more and more in-depth of research if you really want to dive in to the keywords you're looking to target. All right, let's move on from here. The quick difficulty page is very simple. You can just just put in a keyword and it quickly goes out and searches the difficulty rather than doing a full search. You could do multiple keywords at once. You could paste a list of keywords. So this is just a way to just check keyword difficulty for specific keywords rather than doing the related keyword search that's offered on the research page. Now back to where I was talking about saving your keywords to a list. Here's where you can find your lists. It's on the My Lists page. So here you'll see all of the lists that you've made. You can click on your lists. You can check keyword difficulty of keywords that you haven't checked before. You can click on keywords and load up their past information. This is going to take a second. So it will load up the past information. If the past information is old, it will go out and seek new information. So there you go, and you have the same sort of SERP analysis table and whatnot that you had on the research page. You can select and merge lists together. You're able to export your list. You can send some of the keywords to the rank tracker. You can delete duplicates, rename your list. So this is how you basically can keep your keywords organized. And once again, there's filters. So if you have let's say you have a big list, let's find something like this. You could use the filters like I showed you on the research page and just filter keywords with a search volume greater than 1,000. And so here's where you can just keep yourself organized. Now, one of the best features of Keysearch is the Explorer tool. So let's click on that. The Explorer tool is where you can put in any domain or individual page. So we're just doing the entire domain of Keysearch. If you wanted to search a specific page, you set it to a specific page. And this will give you our domain strength score, which is how strong Keysearch sees your domain. A basic good practices score to target. For this domain, we kind of don't want to really target any keywords that are over 42 in difficulty. That's just our guidelines. You can decide for yourself what you think of that, but we're just giving you a basic guideline. Gives you the overall backlinks, do follow, no follow, referring domains, a backlinks overview of how your backlinks have been trending, how many organic keywords we found that you're ranking for, an estimated traffic, how much estimated traffic we see that you might be getting from Google. Once again, this is just an estimate. Don't put too much weight into this, but it's good mostly for comparison. I wouldn't get too hung up if the traffic estimates are a little off. We're doing our best, but we're relying on search volume, click position, and other things to try to get an estimated traffic overview, but it can definitely vary from domain to domain and page to page as to whether how accurate that is. You could then click and view the ranking keywords, which will bring up, just give it 1 second, it's going out, and you'll see it shows you which keywords the website we searched is ranking for, the volume, the estimated traffic that keyword might be bringing in, the page that is ranking for that keyword, and also the difficulty score. Once again, we don't have every difficulty score for every keyword, so some of them might not show, but we have a bunch, so you can, once again, you can do some like sorting and whatnot, and it's a great way to find some easy to rank keywords for some of your competitors. You can search competitors' domains and see what easy keywords they might be ranking for that you might be able to rank for yourself. Here's a top competitors table. Once again, you could dive in and see more of the top competitors we found for your website. You could view the top pages. This is the pages that we've seen that you get the most traffic to using our traffic estimates, right? Once again, this may not be super accurate, but it should give you a basic idea of what pages are getting the most traffic for which domains. The top referring domains by our domain score, a anchor text breakdown, ranking distribution of where the keywords are ranking, or do you have the most keywords between 51 to 75, how many are in the top 1 to 3, etc. You could do a traffic overview. This goes out and finds whatever domain you searched and gives you a trend of how the traffic's been trending over time. So you see we've gotten a big bump around April and our traffic's gone up, and then it also shows you the ranking keywords, how many ranking keywords over time. So this is a cool little feature to see how your domain or your competitor's domain might be growing or losing traffic and keywords over time. But this Explorer tool is really great for getting an overview of your website or diving into your competitor's website and seeing what your competition is. Now you could click on the view backlinks here, and this will take you to the backlinks page, or we could go to the backlink checker here, and this will bring up our backlink checker where you could actually dive into your backlinks or your competitor's backlinks. So once again, it gives you a lot of the same information that the Explorer tool did, but here you can see the actual backlinks ranked by our domain strength. You can do some filtering. The filter's over here. You can filter by only showing do follow links, or filter by the domain strength, or the link source would be if you're looking for specific pages that are being linked to. So let's do filter. So this will just leave you with just do follow links, which is a cool way to maybe go out and try to recreate or find some of your competitors' good links and try to get some yourself. Of course, we got export options. The default is set to show one link per domain. You could switch this, and this will show you multiple links from the same domains. I don't really see a use in that. Most of the link juice comes from that first link from the domain. So, but if you want, you could see multiple links from each domain that's coming in to your website or your competitor's website, whatever you're looking for there. All right, let's keep moving on. So then we have the organic keywords tool. This tool is similar to what I showed you in the Explorer tool that let you dive into see the organic keywords, but this just gives you more options here. So once again, we'll search Keysearch. I wanted to sort it by rank and do the entire domain, not any specific page. So let's go out and find the ranking keywords here. So now this has come back. It's similar to what was being shown in the Explorer tool when I opened up that pop-up, but here on the organic keywords page, we can add filters. So let's say a website has a lot of ranking keywords and you really want to dive in to only the ones that are ranking between positions 4 and positions 8, or let's say you have some keywords that are ranking just off the first page, 11 to 15 or something, and you wanted to find those. You could put in 11 to 15, and those might need just a little extra love to get onto the first page. So then you could filter. We'll go out and find these keywords that are ranking between position 11 and 15, and these may be good keywords to try to put a little extra effort to push them up the rankings. But it's also a great way to find your competitors' keywords, and then you can sort once again by keyword difficulty. And it just gives you a lot of options to really dive into different websites and see what keywords are ranking, see what keywords may be easy to rank for, etc. So this is really when you are doing your deep dives into finding keywords on your site or your competitor's site, this is really the tool you want to use, is the organic keywords tool. This brings us to our site audit. All right, this one's a biggie. So this is where you will use your website and get a basic site audit of what issues we found and what needs to be fixed. So I'm not going to run a new audit right now, but you'd put your domain in, you'd select how many pages you want to crawl, and then you'd click start. So then when it's done, this is what you'd see is the basic site audit summary, and this will show you which issues we've found. Anything with a green check mark is we didn't find any issue for, and you're all okay. And the basic optimization score, of course, the goal is to get the optimization score as high as possible, and how many site issues we found, and broken down by high priority, medium priority, low priority. So right here we found some issues. You'll see there's 6 issues, and since it's in red and the category's in red, that means that's a high priority issue. If you click on it, it'll go out and show you which pages we found the issue on, so you can dive into those pages and fix the issue. The ones that are in gray are just information. Those aren't issues. They're just there to show you some basic information, so you don't need to worry about those grayed out ones there. But once again, you could click around, and for example, certain ones will show you more info, like titles are too long, we'll show you the title so you can see what title we found is too long, and with a little description of what the issue is and what you might need to do to fix it. So this is a great thing when you're first getting started, to throw your website into the site audit tool and see where you stand and what issues could be fixed. All right, let's move on. The competitor gap tool. This is where you can add, let's say, I was trying to find some keywords for SE Roundtable, which is a search engine news site. So we'll do searchengineland.com, searchenginejournal.com. All right, so what we're putting in here is show keywords that all of the below targets rank for. So these two sites, what keywords they both rank for that SE Roundtable does not. And then we search. So you can put in a competitor's website, you could even just put in one, or you could add up to 3, and it'll show you what pages these sites are ranking for that this site is not. So this is another great way to find keywords that might be potential targets for your site. You could put in just one competitor's site and see what one of your competitors is ranking for that you're not, or you could put in multiple and see what they both or all 3 sites are ranking for that yours is not. I love this tool. This tool is really great for finding some quick keyword ideas that are hanging out there that you are just not ranking for your site. The URL metrics tool is a very quick tool. You just put in a URL. I'm not going to go through it really right now. So let's say I put in Keysearch and you search, and it'll just bring up a list of metrics. It's a very simple tool. No reason to dive in depth there. Our YouTube research, quick difficulty and YouTube lists is basically the same as our regular keyword research, but it just deals with YouTube. So we got our chicken pot pie recipe. This gives you a basic idea of how difficult it would be to get your keywords to show up on the top of YouTube and the first page results of YouTube, and it gives you a YouTube search engine breakdown of different metrics and how hard they may be. Same thing as the research page. If you want to check the difficulty, you can just click on it. Same things you can do, bulk checks, you can filter, etc. So it's basically the same as the research page, but we're just dealing with YouTube rather than Google. All right, this brings us to the rank tracker. This is where you can track your rankings. If you want to add your domain, you add your domain. You don't add specific URLs, only full domains. We track by domain level, and we find the URL that is the top ranking URL for that keyword. So you put in your domain. I've already done that. I've got Keysearch. And then you could add your keywords that you're looking to track. So what this is this will track your keywords and show you where they're ranking, whether the ranking's gone up or down. When we last updated the ranking, you could check a keyword graph. So this shows you the last week. You could check the last 30 days. You could do the last 6 months or last year. If you want to do a spot check, ranking, which means update the ranking right now, you could click this tool, and this will, sorry, not this tool, this little recheck icon right here, and this will go out and recheck the ranking. You really only need to do this occasionally if something maybe on your page has changed and you think the ranking has changed very recently, because we go out and we check the rankings every day for you. So this is not something that needs to, you don't need to do this manually. Our rankings update automatically. So then you could also see what are the URLs we found ranking for the keyword, and your URL would be highlighted there and at what position we found it at. So this is a main part of Keysearch, is your rank tracker tool. So be sure to add your domain and some keywords if you want to track your rankings. As usual, we have our export features here, and you can set up email notifications and group URLs and whatnot if you'd like to, but that's not really necessary there. All right, this brings me to Content Assistant, another one of my favorite tools here. So Content Assistant is basically a tool where you can optimize your content. Here you'll see we had written an article about a keyword clustering tool. This is a free keyword clustering tool that we have on our site. So you can either write the article within Content Assistant or take an old article that you already have, just paste it in here after you've done your search, and it'll show you what words, the must words, are the most found words and phrases that we found in the first page results. So these are things that you probably want to include in your article. Any of the ones that are orange means they're not found in the text here. The blue ones are already in the article. So for example, keyword search volume is not found. It may be something that you want to add to your article, and if you do, you see it turns blue. So you don't have to add all the keywords, but it gives you an idea of what keywords and topics are being discussed on the first page results. It might give you a little insight into what Google feels high quality content about that keyword should be about. So these must keywords are a great way to, start optimizing your content a bit better for what Google's looking for. Up here, you'll see your competition score, which is the keyword difficulty score, the word count that we've found, the average word count for the top ranking pages, and your current word count for your article. So the average word count is 1655. We're only at 876, so we may want to add a bunch more content because it seems like that's what Google's looking for. And then this shows you your progress of how many recommended keywords, which the recommended keywords include the must keywords, and then the keywords on this keyword page, which are the related keywords, which are keywords that are found at the bottom of Google and sometimes include Google Suggest keywords. And then the top keywords we found ranking for the top URL. So this means for this particular one, this is the top ranking URL. These are the top ranking keywords for that URL. So it also gives you an idea of what other keywords Google associates with that URL that they are ranking number one for this particular keyword search. The research page, tab lets you see little summaries of research that we found from the top ranking pages. You can just do the content snippets for the keyword clustering tool from the top ranking pages we found. So that's the SERP top pages, or our entire database if you wanted to expand the search of what you're researching to our entire database, not just the top pages that we've found. That makes me remember that you can also click on, let's say, click on keyword search volume, and that'll bring up research here too. Same thing, you could keep the research isolated to just those top pages, or you can use our entire database. And it just brings up little summaries that you can use to help research more about your article, and then you could click this to go back to the article. You can load your article from here. Would you like to save what you currently have? Yes, and then this will create a new article, so I'm going to save there. Okay, and now it's going to create a new article, so if I name it, let's do SEO Content Editor. Now this creates a new article, and then I can search SEO Content Editor here, and that will bring up a new content assistant for that keyword there. So we don't store articles. Don't use Content Assistant as your main storage. We only store articles for 30 days unless they've been accessed again. So please, I can't stress enough, make sure you've backed up your articles in other ways. This is not meant to be some long-term storage for your article. Here, sorry, I don't have any keyword loaded. my mistake. Let's load that up. So here you can find questions that are related to the keyword. So this keyword clustering tool search that we did, here are the top questions that we found from Google, from Quora, from different sites. So these may be questions that you want to add into your article. Just gives you more content ideas and options you might want to add. These are the top headings that we found. So we take the top 10 results and go and dive in and grab what are the H1, H2, and H3 headings. Once again, these are also great ways to get ideas for your article and further optimize it to really just have much better content than your competitors and give Google everything they want to see for that particular keyword. And then, as I showed you before, these are the top ranking search pages for that keyword. And we have export options as usual. All right, guys, sorry, that was a lot to throw at you, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview. Keep in mind, features change often, so some of the menus might change. Some of the features may look a little different after you've watched this video, but this should give you a basic idea of how to use Keysearch. Oops, one more thing before I let you go. Over here, you can see your credits. You can go to settings/upgrade, which will show you some of your information, and here you can upgrade your rank tracker subscriptions, reset your passwords, etc. So this is a your main hub for your settings and any upgrading you need to do. So that is about it, guys. Hopefully this has given you a brief overview. It wasn't very brief, but this should give you a good idea of how to get started with Keysearch. All right, I will see you in the next video.